talk. This is the only thing.
Yes,
this is the talk of. Okay,
the whole internet.
They
blew it the fuck up.
No, they designated like a half an hour to this on this morning at 6 o'clock on CNN.
Really?
I watched it. Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
They kept going to commercial, coming back to it. I don't know what's right.
I'm surprised, because at first I'm like, nobody's really talking about it.
No, they interviewed one reporter from London. He was standing outside. I don't think it was Buckingham Palace. I think it was Windsor Castle. He was standing outside of. Then they interviewed this lady, but yeah, they were talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We are back with a new video. I hope you guys have had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. I had 2 early days, and I had yesterday off, and I had today off. I was like, Mikkel, you got to get here early because we have to talk about what the whole world is talking about. But before we get to that, Mikkel, how are you and your family doing right now?
Everybody's doing good. This one was a shock.
Mm-hmm.
And because we were all just at a funeral, not yesterday, but last Sunday, for another relative. And he and I, the one who passed 3 days later, sat next to each other at the funeral like this, the whole funeral. We sat next to each other the whole funeral. And then at the end of the funeral, we talked about the podcast because Kevin knows this particular cousin, he has this venue space. And Kevin and I were talking about at one point we were going to go up there and look at it. But we were going to do a podcast there, and he was just so excited of having us come up there. But they had an accident where a car had, like a year or two ago, I think it was, a car had went through like the window. It was a car accident, and he had to get that fixed. And now that he got it fixed, we talked about it at the end of the funeral. But it was a shock. This one was a shock. He wasn't sick or anything. He just went to sleep. So, I feel bad for his wife and his 2 kids and his mother. He's the only child. It was always just him and his mom. So I feel bad for him and for his mother. That's her only child. They live on the same block. Him and his wife live in this house, and his mother lives directly across the street from him on the same block.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's just horrible. It's just horrible. When I went to see them that morning that it happened, everybody, because I got the phone call like 7:30 in the morning when I got off of work, because it happened that night. And when my cousin called me and told me, I'm thinking she's talking about somebody else. Like, well, who the hell are you talking about? She's like, well, what? We only got one in our family. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, wait a minute, how? This can't be. So I hung up from her, and 10 minutes later, I sat there on my bed, and I called her back, and I said, are you sure he didn't have a heart attack and maybe he was rushed to the hospital? Because when stuff like this happens, it'd be a lot of confusion. Communication be bad. So I'm like, are you sure you didn't get the wrong information? She's like, no. When I got to his wife, because they all live around the corner from me. I didn't even walk to their house, but I drove. And by the time I got to, the house was packed with people by this time. Because, cars was just pulling up. And when I got in there, one of the first people I saw was his mom. And she was just sitting there like in a daze. And 2 of my cousins, they were sitting on either side of her. They were older, because his mom's older, so they all older, and they were just sitting on the side of her. And she was just sitting there in a daze. And I was just like, oh my God. It was horrible. Like, we all were at a funeral 3 days earlier.
Yeah.
It was so sad. It was so sad. So sad.
Is the funeral coming? Well, I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any information yet. I think his wife and them, they're still planning, whatever the case may be, but I haven't heard anything just as yet. Yeah, I went there the first 2 days, but I couldn't go. I said I'm not going to go back right now because it was just too sad. Like, it was too sad. Then his wife got overwhelmed the first day. She got overwhelmed that she asked everybody to leave. Like, y'all got to go. She just got so overwhelmed. Like this, she got overwhelmed. And it was understandable because it was just the first few hours. But, yeah, it was sad. It really is. Really sad.
I just wanted to, just see how you were doing.
Yeah.
Because Mikkel even called me. Like, I'm like, bitch, I'm at where we went.
Right.
So.
Because I knew that we kept planning.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We kept planning.
And then the pandemic, too.
Right.
Like,
that car accident and everything.
Yeah, that just messed that all up. But if the wife still's on it, maybe.
Oh yeah, we can just still do something there. But I mean, it was just so unfortunate because he was so excited about having us come up there. Mm-hmm. Like he was so excited about having us come up there. He was.
Didn't I meet him when we drove past your grandma's old house?
No, that wasn't. Yeah, that's another cousin. Yeah, that's another cousin. Mm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean to lighten the mood, but I just wanted to know how Mikkel was doing and stuff like that. But yeah, like basically that was our weekend, and then I was just waiting for. Well, I did watch Coming to America. Maybe we get to that later. We talk about the real Rory family, So I had a chance to watch. I forgot how to call it. It says CBS presents Oprah Winfrey interviews Harry and Meghan, or Meghan and Harry. It started out with Meghan and Oprah doing this interview. Now, this interview was recorded long before Prince Philip got sick. Mm-hmm. So all them people saying, like, why would they do that? Knowing all this is going on. It was recorded way before then, because I remember seeing a clip maybe like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I just like, I don't know when this interview is coming on. Mm-hmm. CBS paid for the rights. They paid Oprah Winfrey's company $7 million for the exclusive rights to this interview. So people were saying that Harry and Meghan got paid $7 million. They said they didn't get paid at all for this interview. It was a really good interview. It was great for me to just watch because I never watched Meghan on anything before. Like, I don't know what her personality is like. Mm-hmm. This is the longest I've ever seen her in a setting where she's speaking. Mm-hmm. And I like her personality. The only thing I think she lying is about when she said she didn't Google Prince Harry and their family and all of that stuff. Because I'll be sitting there Googling everybody. Mm-hmm. And we are at that day and age where we could do that. Where you could look somebody up to see, like, okay, this somebody I want to deal with, this somebody I don't want to deal with. So I just didn't believe that part. But I still enjoyed her talking about how her and Harry met, and they also talked about just them, being together and their love for each other. Like, he really loves her like his mom should have been loved, and he wants to be her protector. But a lot of shit was going down, especially during that time during the wedding. The first revelation we found out was about this story, which we didn't hear about, but there was a story where they said that Meghan Markle made
I never heard of that.
Kate cry.
I never heard that story.
And she was saying that it was actually in reverse, where Kate is the one that made her cry about some damn dresses for the funeral, dresses for the wedding, and she was like, but she had apologized. And she's like, she didn't really want to get into it as much because it was over with. But she wanted to get the clarification out that that's not how it happened. Mm-hmm. So then she said, the story came out months later after it happened. Mm-hmm. So how the hell did this story come out?
Mm-hmm. And who put it out there?
Yeah, who put it out there? Mm-hmm. The palace.
And why did they reverse it?
Yeah. To make Meghan look bad. Mm-hmm. Like, every story you see it's a negative headline, and those in the UK, like, it's just like we have tabloids, but not like that. I don't even know people were still reading the newspapers all like that, because newspaper here is way too high. Newspaper used to be 50 cent. Newspaper now $3. I'm not paying.
I wish I would pay $3 for a stack of papers.
No.
I didn't know that. First of all, to be honest with you, Kevin, I didn't even know they still sold newspapers.
Yes, Philadelphia did, and it's thin as hell for $3.
Because when you walk into, remember years ago when you would walk into like the Poppy store, you would see the stand that had the newspaper stacked in it. I don't even see that no more.
Yeah.
But where do you go to buy a newspaper now?
You go to a store, like a reputable store, like you can go to Wawa, probably 7-Eleven.
Got it. Because all corner stores used to sell them.
Corner stores don't sell them no more.
They don't sell them no more. So that's why I didn't know they still made newspapers. I'm thinking like, oh, they still make them? Because I'm thinking now, you just go on like the Enquirer website and all that stuff, and you read it from there. I mean, that's how I get my news, not from the website, but I get my news from 6ABC.
Yeah. Period. Like, I think we've all switched to online news.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing I read is, like, when I be at work, somebody be bringing, like, 50 stacks of Metros.
Right.
So we play the Metros, and now I'm so old now, I like to play the little crossword puzzle in the back of the book. So, I'm in the back of the newspaper. So we don't have those type of headlines. But then
Right.
when they got headlines online, when you see one negative story, it's a negative story at the negative story at the negative. You can see like sometimes up to 20 negative stories in one day about one thing that happened. Meghan opened the car wrong. Meghan is not wearing the right clothes. Oh, look how she put her shoes on. She didn't curtsy right. She didn't do this. She didn't do that. It's like, what the fuck? Did she take a shit right? Did she wipe her ass properly? Y'all all up in her fucking business like that. It's like, why does somebody have to live like that? Everything she does is just wrong. And then when her and Kate do the same thing, it's, oh, there's a bigger story behind why Meghan is doing it versus when Kate is doing it graceful, and Meghan is just, oh, she's just a hard. It's all because she's a black woman. And I'll never forget when I seen that little monkey picture when they did Archie like that. But,
I never saw it.
But you know what Meghan also discussed was that she wasn't told this, but Harry was told that his son wouldn't even have a royal title, even though he would be seventh in line. I don't know why he doesn't have a royal title.
She got a lot of her information from her husband.
Yeah.
It's like whoever in the family was talking to him, you know, they weren't communicating any of this to her, but he was coming back and letting her know this is what's being said, which is unfortunate because you think to yourself, he's a part of the family, this child, like the baby. Meghan's now a part of the family. When I was watching last night, her talk about the different things that was going on, I kept shaking my head like, you know what? Last year, the royal family wanted so desperately for us to know that the crown was not a real depiction of them. Well, last night, I think this interview with Meghan and Harry confirmed that Netflix series The Crown is definitely
it's more like a documentary.
Okay, it's definitely, they confirmed it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'm watching it and I'm saying to myself, Princess Diana was telling us this years ago. She did a interview in 1995, I think, with Martin Bashir, and she told us this about that family. She let it be known. She let it be known. You know what I mean? You can't spend. It's nothing that they could say. Well, not for us anyway. I think those people who are over there in the UK, not everybody in the UK, because a lot of people in the UK, they believe Meghan and Harry. But for the most part, those diehard royal fans,
yes, like you should see the tweets.
yeah, they're not. They're not. They're so stuck up the royals' asses. But it's like, why would anybody in that position want to lie about something like that? Right. You know what I mean? I would love to be a royal. Yeah. I would love to be a prince. You think I'm gonna sit here and lie and say, oh, they're horrible people?
Yeah, and Harry knows he's not gonna be king,
right?
Because shit, you got Prince Charles, then you got Prince William, then you got the first son, and then Prince you got William. Charlotte, right. And then you got the other baby. Oh, William made sure to make his line succeed, so at least one of them. In his line, and then you got Harry, and then you got Archie, and then you got this new baby that's coming, and then everybody else. So it's not like he's ever going to be king, but he's saying that he decided to leave because his family wasn't being protected. They couldn't have the baby couldn't have protection, Meghan couldn't have protection. They didn't want to pay for that.
I think that's the part, besides the skin color. But I think this part came first in the interview. I think that's the part that really fucked me up.
Yes,
a lot of people,
about the baby, yeah.
About the baby and the protection. Because I said to myself, even if y'all don't give this baby a title, the fact that y'all are not giving this family protection, security protection, can I just say this? Shout out to Tyler Perry. Because Tyler Perry has come in.
He's helping everybody.
He helped Whitney Houston when she died. Remember he had that private jet flyer by to New Jersey? Funeral. I mean, shout out to him. Yeah. Shout out to him. He offered them his home, one of his homes in California, and security for 3 months until they were able to find their own home and security. Shout out to him for doing that. You know, and Tyler Perry probably never, I don't know if he had ever even met them before then, but it's like he saw what was going on and said, you know what, I'm going to step in and help. He didn't have to do that.
I wonder how he got their number. I do worry about
that. Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out too. Like, how did they have any type of meeting before? Like, did they meet somewhere?
He probably got Oprah's number and then got it. He probably got it from Oprah because Oprah was talking about in the interview that that they talked before, and I can't remember what it was about because I remember like the main stuff that she was talking about. But I was like, oh, okay, but she did thank her for the invitation to the wedding and stuff like that.
Yeah, because Oprah was at the wedding.
Yeah, but that topic about the skin color, you know, I kind of do wish that they threw whoever it was under the bus. But I think it's only two people. It's either William and Charles. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Or
both of them. Yeah, I said that on Facebook. I said that it's definitely the father. It's not the father. It's the brother. I definitely don't think it's the queen. And I'm going to tell you why I don't think the queen... I don't think she played a major part in it like a lot of people before this interview thought she did. And the reason is because Meghan made it a point in the interview last night to let everybody know that she had a good relationship with the queen. When she first met, she made it be known she was welcoming to me. She treated me like a grandmother. She let it be known. If you really pay attention to the interview, you don't hear any good things being said about Charles. No. You know, and Meghan let it be known.
Right.
This woman was welcoming to me. She treated me like a granddaughter. I looked at her like a grandmother. She didn't say anything negative. Harry didn't say anything negative about his grandmother either. He let it be known, listen, I reached out to my grandmother 3 times. We spoke. I reached out to my father twice. And then after that, he stopped taking my phone calls. He didn't say about his grandmother. He said about his father. So they let it be known. The issue's not with my grandmother, and I don't think so either, because I think now Queen Elizabeth's, 94 years old? She's now allowing, even though she's still the queen, she's now allowing her son, who will be king in a matter of a few years or whatever when she dies, she's allowing him to take over certain things. You know what I mean? Right. And then that's Harry's father at that. So it's kind of like, yeah, we're going to let him handle this. I'm just going to sit back as the 94-year-old queen and the grandmother. But I'm just going to, I don't think she had anything to do with that like a lot of us thought she did in the beginning. Because if she did, I think Meghan and them would have made it clear. Like, yeah, she,
Because they didn't say not one bad thing
about her. They didn't say not one bad thing about
Prince Philip.
Or Prince Philip.
Nope. Yeah. But I want to know.
That's true, too. And you know what? But you know what? It's so crazy because they didn't say anything bad about Prince Philip. They didn't say anything bad about the Queen. Now, some people were thinking that maybe Prince Philip had something to do with it too. But then I started thinking to myself, I don't think he had anything to do with that either. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Prince Philip and Princess Diana had a good relationship. And I'm not just going off the crown. Princess Diana did several interviews where she talked about her relationship with her father-in-law, Charles's father, and how he was one of the ones that she actually confided in when she was married to Charles. So, and also too, if you really pay attention to the history, Prince Philip was an outsider when he married the Queen years ago. He came from a family of dysfunction.
He came from his own family of royals. Right?
Yeah, but his family was also dysfunctional. His mother was psychotic. He had went to go live with a sister at one point, and the sister was killed in a plane crash or something like that. He came from a very, very rough background.
He had a rough upbringing.
He had a rough upbringing. So he knows a thing or two about, trying to fit in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's interesting to note that they didn't say anything bad about the grandparents.
Right.
But they didn't say anything good about Charles and the brother either.
Yeah. And because they should be the ones out there trying to defend Harry and Meghan. Like, we know what it really is.
Right.
We know that it's racism. Like that's the number one thing it is. Like, okay, why can't he have a title? Why can't I have protection?
Y'all want this black baby?
Yeah. Why can't I get help because I'm gonna kill myself? Y'all doing way too much. If she would have committed suicide, what would y'all have said?
And the same things happened with Princess Diana. She had even talked about suicide back in the 80s when she was married to the prince. Like, this is. I just kept saying, thank God that they were able to get out of there. Thank God they just were able to get out of there. And like Harry said in the interview, he feels bad for his mother because she didn't have anybody. But him and Meghan got each other. They are going through this together. But his mother didn't have anybody to go through this with when she was going through it with the family. It was just her.
Still out there touching the world and, just doing what she had to do. That's what she loved to do.
Yep.
And Charles was out there fucking Camilla. That's who we wanted to be with
years. For years. Even when before he was married to Diana. That was just true love. For years. Yep.
That was his true
Somebody
love.
posted. I posted. Somebody said for years while he was married to Diana, he was taking Camilla's phone calls, but then couldn't take his phone calls from his own son. I said they're right.
Well, it's true.
It's right. Meghan and Harry confirmed The Crown.
Right.
They confirmed that. If you have not seen the series The Crown on Netflix, I suggest you start watching it because I think it's like on season 3 now or maybe season 4. But I suggest you start watching it.
But I still, going back to the skin color, what would have made a difference if the baby was brown or white, or if he looked mixed? Like, what would that matter?
Well, because
he's still a part of the family.
He is still a part of the family, but that just goes to show you that there's some people in the family who are just not comfortable enough with having him. But they're not going to ever come out and verbally say we're not comfortable.
And you know what?
They're not going to ever come out and say that.
When I went to the last time I was there in 2013, right? You've seen so many mixed couples. Mm-hmm. Like it was everything was interracial. People look interracial. I'm just like, oh my God, this is a total difference from America because people will give you stares. And I was thinking that, no, they don't really suffer racism like that. And then we were sitting out there in that park and we were talking and they was like, hold up, it's racism here. Mm-hmm. And they was like, and sometimes they try to be very subtle with it. And especially in a workplace or if they see that that you gay, they like to, mm-hmm. or call you ghetto names like Shanae and all kinds of stuff like that. Like, it's horrible. And I didn't know that. But then, when I started seeing these papers, headline after headline, I said, oh, okay. Now, and then I seen one where it said niggling. Mm. Niggling. Niggling. First of all, I didn't even know that was a word. Mm. But it was on a paper. And like, how do you think somebody's supposed to be mentally when you hear all these stories? First of all, they're telling you don't read the papers, don't pay attention to the news. But then you got your friends calling you like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? Mm-hmm. You said that they were protecting you. They're not out here protecting you. Mm-hmm. I have never heard anything from the royal family where they have denounced anything that's came out in the press about Meghan. Or probably even Kate. Well, Kate, you don't even hear negative stories. Mm-mm. Because she's the queen. She's the future queen. Because
mm-hmm. Something happens to Charles, Kate will be the future queen. But Kate is already established in the family, so she's established now. So it's like, right. No, you ain't gonna hear nothing bad about her. It's just so unfortunate because it just goes to show you that it's still real. Well, I mean, we still know racism is real, right? But I mean, even within the family, it's like, wow, it's crazy. Because that baby didn't ask to be here. You know what I mean? And you would think that, Charles, that's your grandson. That you would be a loving grandfather to your grandson. But we know that you don't have no real relationship with your grandson. Because you can't help but to notice that your son and his wife are
both of the grandparents ain't shit.
You know?
You got Prince Charles over there, and then you got Meghan Markle's father. Right. And then on about to say 60 Minutes on CBS this morning, they show another clip. And
is it a 2-part interview?
No, it was just like a bonus clip. Basically, Meghan was saying that she don't get along with her father. Mm-hmm. There's not a relationship there.
Well, he didn't even come to the wedding.
No.
Yeah.
And then she was saying that whoever this sister is, she's like I'm an only child. She said, I'm the only child. I grew up as the only child. Mm-hmm. Now, I do have siblings.
But I'm the only child.
Yeah, and then she said, this sister of mine, she doesn't know me. How's she writing a book about me? We've only met twice. One time was 19 years ago, and then another time was 10 years before that. And she don't know me. And she said, another thing is, the only reason why she changed her last name back to Markle is only when she found out that she was getting married to Prince Harry. That's the only reason why she went back to her Markle last name. So
what was her last name before Markle?
I don't know the sister last name. What's the last name?
You're saying the sister changed her last name. Oh, I think you're talking about Meghan. Oh. No. She changed her last name to Markle because she wanted to be involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, everybody wants a piece of taking down Meghan. And they say, Meghan was bullying people. How is Meghan doing any of the bullying when she's dealing with all of this behind closed doors. She's a caged bird, trapped. You know, every time they talk about being trapped, I keep thinking about Dirty Laundry.
Oh, when she got there and they took her keys, her passport, I said, "Oh my,
yes,
God,
I wouldn't have been ready."
Like, wait, so then what do I do after this? Well, you want to go somewhere? You gotta let us know, huh?
Yeah. And you know, Meghan got some good friends because you would think that they would go to the press and say, "Oh, this is happening, that is happening. We need to save our friend."
Meghan and Harry.
Yeah, nobody said nothing.
Because Harry said that their friends have been like their close confidants. So that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
To not anything come out, just roll with it. Just let the press do what they do. But then they talk about how the royal family don't come down on the press because they don't want the bad press. So what y'all saying is basically the media has more influence over the royal family. That's what it seemed like Harry was saying to me. Because they have parties at the royal mansions and stuff like that.
Who, the press?
The press. Whatever it is, wherever they have it at. I don't remember all. Is it Buckingham Palace? I don't know all the names. I'm not from there. But you know, it's just horrible that Meghan has to go through this. She wanted to commit suicide. She talked about a picture somebody sent her, and that was the day she told Harry, and all of that. Like, that's fucking horrible. Like, we all thinking like, yeah, she's a black princess. You know, everybody tweeting, oh, she's a black American princess in England, and she's suffering the whole damn time. But nobody, you know,
that interview that she did 2 years ago.
When he asked her was she happy?
When he asked her was she okay, and she said no, and I'm just like, wait, where did that even come from? Like, first of all, I was trying to figure out when the interviewer asked her that, was it because of the headlines that was going on and why he asked her that? But for her to be so candid and open and say, no, I'm not okay. You know, and I think she even thanked him for asking her that. Like, it was just like, oh, I can't even imagine living like that. No. I can't imagine living like that.
And it shows you, be careful of the life you think you want to live. Because she was going through it. And, like, I still say Kate and Harry, William ain't shit. Because they not out there defending their brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws. Like, come on. Y'all could have been made a statement. Y'all could have been said something. And then Harry said 72 women in Parliament stood up for his family. Yeah. And his own family didn't stand up. That's hurtful. Like, basically, he was saying my family ain't shit without saying it. But I still want to know. I wish he would have just said who it was, but he don't. That would have been
I missed the part where he talked about, because like I said, the thing kept skipping. But I missed the part where he talked about his mother had set aside money for him.
Yes, and he was using that money because he doesn't get money from the royal family.
So he started using the money.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about that. Now if he's not getting, this is my tax money paying, shut the fuck up. Our tax money pay a lot of motherfuckers we don't want our money to go to. Once that money come out my pocket, I ain't got shit to do with it. That's all on the government. Now all of a sudden, we pay for the shut the fuck up. Y'all always gonna pay somebody as long as you pay taxes. Now, so if he's not making money or if he's not getting money from taxpayers, how else is William and Kate supposed to get? Harry and Meghan supposed to go out there and make money. So what they got to deal with Netflix? They could have got a book deal and spilled all the fucking royalty, but they didn't. They out there doing things. They're going to get money. So what? If Meghan want to go back to acting, maybe she can go back to acting too. That's how you're supposed to make money. You're supposed to get out there and work. What Harry's supposed to be out there selling his ass on OnlyFans? Come on. How can you be mad that he's getting? And even if he did get paid for this interview, so the fuck what? Right. So what? It ain't come out your tax-paying pocket, did it?
Who you talking to?
I'm talking to them dumb motherfuckers. Because you know, it's people in my comments talking about where their tax money is going. Do you know that we paid people?
Do you know we had to pay? Do you know for 4 years we had to pay tax for Donald J. Trump, and even still got to pay tax because he still gets security. Right? Who do you think's paying for that?
We are.
You think I want to pay for Donald Trump's security?
Our tax
He's
money
not
pays for
president,
all
dude.
the Trump
Yes.
hotels he stayed at, all the golf resorts he stayed
Yes.
at.
We had to pay for 4 years his ass, this damn orangutan acting a fool for 4 years. We had to pay for him. Our taxes pay for that. You didn't hear me complaining.
No.
Because it's what we have to do.
Somebody
got to fucking do it.
Like they make it sound like it's a big thing.
Yeah, like it's so new. Oh, this is a new phenomenon. Oh, we have to pay. Oh, I didn't know we had to do that. Hello?
Man, listen, I love it that Harry and Meghan, they're independent now. They're independent.
And guess what? We're still paying for Trump because the Republicans didn't convict him. Had they convicted him, he would have been wiped.
Right.
But they convicted him. They didn't convict him. So we're still going to be paying for Trump shit.
To the day he died.
Till the day he dies.
Yeah.
He better get used to
And
it.
Obama signed that into law about the security and all of that stuff to make sure they get more money too. Obama signed that, I think before he left or like during his term, he signed that into law.
What did he sign into law? Because I know presidents were already getting security.
They was getting it, but he extended that, and it was for them to get more money for when they are like every year they're supposed to get more money.
Oh, you mean he extended as far as it came up for what's the name? And he just because I know presidents have always
they've
been
always
getting
been
security
taken
for
care
life.
of, but it was like something was about to expire, and he made sure. Like I can't remember exactly. I could Google it, but
Maybe the terms of the security thing.
yeah, let's see.
He probably had to whatever the case may be. But I know they always get presidents.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their wives, I think it's just them and their wives, not their children, but them and their wives, former presidents rather, will get security for the rest of their life. But they don't get as much security as they did when they were president. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. No, that wasn't it.
Like for instance, Jimmy Carter's what, 96 years old? He's our oldest living president. He don't have
Is he retired yet? Because
retired from what?
Like he be out there building homes,
He ain't building no
Habitat for
houses no damn
Humanity
more.
and all.
He's 96.
He's no longer volunteering. He needs to sit his ass down.
Yeah, they said that he don't go. He's don't
Right.
really go nowhere no more after he kept falling and everything.
But
him being 96, he doesn't have as much security as Joe Biden.
He don't need that.
You know, I think he probably now got probably like 3 or 4 Secret Service agents,
Right.
if even that. You know, he's 96. He ain't going too many places. You don't need his house.
Sit down, Jimmy.
Sit the fuck down.
No, but sometimes you
And
gotta
Jimmy
stay
Carter's been
active.
out of office for 40 years.
Sometimes you gotta stay active so you can even just be alive.
You know, this is the longest what's the name has ever been out of office?
A president?
A former president. He's been out of office for 40 years. Like, some former presidents have died, but he's actually been out of office. This is the longest a former president has ever been out of office for 40 years.
I remember
and he's the oldest living former president.
I went to Jimmy Carter's
Library?
yeah.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. It's nice. It's in Atlanta. Courtney here took me, and I learned a lot about where he's from and his wife, Rosanna or something like that. Rosalind, yeah. And his commitment to God and everything.
Well, you know, he just recently stopped doing Sunday school because he's a Sunday school teacher, and I think he just recently stopped because of COVID. But he still teaches Sunday school. Yeah. Let me tell you something. He grew up in the church. Yeah. Okay, and you see him in a black church, you be like, oh, he belongs in here.
He was only our president for what, 4 years?
4 years.
That was it.
But yeah, for 40 years he's been out of office, and he's been doing a damn thing for the past 40 years. Habitat for Humanity, you know, helping build houses across the country. Him and his wife, he's been doing his thing, and I think him staying active for the past 40 years has kept him alive for so long.
Mm-hmm. That's what you gotta do.
That's what you gotta do.
You can't just be sitting around. Like that's why some old people like to work even after retirement at Walmart and stuff. So be nice to them people. Don't be mean.
And I do believe he would have been at the inauguration had it not been for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that they put that statement out too because he's 96. He shouldn't be out there. I think he would have been.
Just
there.
let them relax. It's too cold. It might be extra cold for them. People's skin change. You know, but shout out to Jimmy Carter. Shout out to the former presidents, except for Trump.
Yeah. Except for Trump.
Yes.
I don't even
I'm
acknowledge
still waiting
him.
for them to get their COVID vaccines on TV.
I'm just happy that we don't. I thought he already got his shot.
No, not. I'm talking about Bill Clinton, Bush.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Trump. I was saying I thought he already got his shot. I thought they announced on TV.
Yeah, he lied and went behind everybody's back and got his fucking
he got his
vaccine. But kept saying it's a hoax. But you got your vaccine,
right?
And y'all follow everything we do.
Oh, half of them got it too.
Yeah,
but they come on camera and start talking shit.
Right. And today they said if you are fully vaccinated 2 weeks into your full vaccination, you can visit people without mask. You should still take precautions, but you can even see your grandchildren. Now, I'm like, is it that effective?
Right.
They still haven't said how long this shit is for. Like, it's probably enough to get rid of it, and then we probably have to keep taking it every year. I don't know.
We need more people to be vaccinated. I think right now, are we even at 60 million people? I don't even think we're at 60 million.
No, yes we are.
Oh,
we're higher than that.
Okay.
I think we're around 90 million people.
So far? How?
Not fully, but vaccinated.
But still, how? Because I thought hold on.
Because they're doing 1 million people a day.
Oh,
That's what Biden wanted. He said 1 million people in a day. And he wanted them teachers vaccinated. Yeah. I said that's almost 1/3 of the country is vaccinated. Yeah. You'll have some who don't want to get vaccinated, and that's fine. I haven't been vaccinated yet, and I've been called multiple times. Kev, we got some more. Come on, like I'm at work, I can't go, but I will do it when my time is my time. I'm going to definitely do it, but I don't think it's going to be party time. Even though, I got my vaccination.
I don't see a number. I'm looking for a specific
Go
number.
to how many people have been vaccinated?
I did. I don't see a specific number.
Maybe you can go. CNN normally has it up. I know definitely during daytime.
You're on the TV.
Yeah. But I think I've seen 90 million people.
Vaccinated, or how many vaccines have been distributed?
No,
they have CNN. They have
administered. If it's administered, that means
because I know they usually have two numbers. They have how many has been distributed, and then they have.
I don't even see distributed no more. I'm seeing administered.
Okay.
And then it says 9.9% fully vaccinated. So that's not. It's 9.9. I mean 10%. That's not a lot of Americans.
No, that's what I'm saying. Not even 100 million people. A good thing. 100 million people being vaccinated is good. But it's still not good enough, especially when you live in a country with over 300 million people.
300
you know what I mean? So you need more than 100 million people for you to be like, okay, now we can really party.
Right.
You need at least over 200 million people really to be vaccinated. But if you just got 100 million people vaccinated, that's good, but it ain't good enough when you got over 300 million people in this country alone. So yeah, Yeah, but I mean, I seen that some movie theaters in New York City reopened, and they done 500% better than what it was, like, I guess, before. I can't wait till the movie so I can go.
Yeah,
I just want to go. I want to go somewhere.
I'm excited for what this summer is going to look like. If everybody does what they're supposed to do, if we have enough people vaccinated, then it doesn't matter if you don't get vaccinated. But if you can, like especially for the elderly, for your parents, get them vaccinated. Please get them vaccinated. Don't let them not get vaccinated. And then you visit them or someone visit them and then they end up with the virus. Like we are past that point now. Still keep your mask, take your precautions, wash your hands, do what they say. But if you're in a position to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. And if you want to do more research, do more research. Right. But don't bash people if they have been vaccinated, and you don't bash people.
I don't bash. I'm not bashing nobody.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm not bashing nobody who doesn't want to do it. I'm just saying this: don't get upset when shit is taking a little longer.
Right. Okay. We about to get that $1,400. The government gonna keep giving us money now.
I don't think this. I think
this the last.
This is the last. Yeah, this is the last hurrah. This is first of all. This is I think the biggest stimulus, right?
Yes, $1,400.
This whole 1.9 trillion. The government. This is the third and final stimulus check, and I don't think that the government is being mean by this being. I just feel like at some point it's got to stop. And no, for real. Don't get me wrong. I'm
gonna have it turned down now. One stimulus.
Okay. And this one, I'm gonna hold on to it like white on rice. But let me tell you something. They can't keep giving us checks after checks after checks. They can't keep doing that. Mm-hmm. So at some point, because they're that's why these vaccines are out. So everybody can get vaccinated. So then shit can start opening back up. Then people can start going back to work. So they don't have to give us no more money.
And that's why Biden is paying for so much. He said by the end of May, I'll have enough vaccinations for every adult in America.
Yeah. So therefore, basically in cold, don't expect no stimulus check after May. Because you're not getting it. Because I know I already ordered enough for you to get vaccinated.
And if you're unemployed, I'll take care of you until the end of August.
Until the end of August. $300 a week. But after that... And guess what, Mr. President? I agree. I agree. Because there's too many PUAs, PPEs, PWIs.
People going to Miami.
Everybody's going on vacation. And I ain't been nowhere since July of 2019. Kevin, I haven't been nowhere since July in 2019. But every other month, somebody somewhere on my timeline.
Yeah, Mexico and Miami.
Mexico is the new hotspot for Philly. Right. Everybody in Philly's in Mexico. They got them a passport. They got the stimulus and that PUA.
And their children still can't read. Did I just strike a nerve? Then that's your fault. Yeah. You know what?
How'd you feel about coming to America?
I struck a nerve.
How'd you feel?
Yeah. Oh, first of all, I love coming to America. No, I liked it. I really, really liked it.
Mm-hmm. I haven't finished it.
I think that Leslie Jones definitely stole the show.
I agree with you. From what I saw, I feel like whenever she was on screen, I laughed. Mm-hmm. I laughed.
Yes.
I think the movie was a little cheesy. I think it was a little cheesy. I think I was expecting something, but then I realized somebody had left a comment on Facebook and they said they think that it was just more so like a satire or cameo type film. And I said, okay, I can kind of accept that.
Yeah, I mean, because it really didn't need to be made.
It didn't need to be made. But it was, and I posted it on Facebook too. Like, we could have did without it, but it was cute.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
It was fun.
It was fun. For me, the fun part of the whole. Well, I didn't finish the movie. I'm going to finish it. But for me, the fun part of the movie was seeing the original people from 33 years ago.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Seeing Louis Anderson and seeing John Amos and what's his name? James Earl Jones and Eddie Murphy's wife in the film. Vanessa Bell Calloway. I mean, just seeing all of these, and then the characters from the barbershop. And then I looked up, because there's only one character in the barbershop that's not Arsenio or Eddie, and that's the older guy, Sweets, that was sitting next to the guy Saul. Yeah, and that's the original man from the original What's Name. I googled and that's him.
Right.
So I'm like, dang, they got everybody.
Yeah.
They got and thank God everybody's still living.
Yes. Now don't be waiting another 30 years because there won't be another coming.
Right. Well, it don't need to be.
Right. But I just loved how it was. They used the good technology, especially with them in when they was talking about when they was in America. And Arsenio Hall's character talked to Leslie Jones and the thing. Like that was like
how they
like that was decent how they did that.
Because they used when they first went back in time, they used the original clip from the original movie, and then it went into the computer generated. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
that was decent.
And I loved how they talked about how times has changed. When men.
I know.
Trance and all of that. Like it was a fun movie. Like they didn't offend nobody. I think it's the message for me was more about still becoming your own. Like even though your parent did it this way, you can still go off and do things your way. I knew that that he was gonna fall in love with that girl that was doing his hair.
Well, see, I didn't finish the movie.
Oh,
so
you didn't even?
no.
Yeah.
I said I didn't finish it.
Like, yeah, I mean, it was good. And then Tiana Taylor, did you get to her part yet?
I only got to the part when.
Oh my God, you just started the movie.
I only got to the part. No, I only got to the part. Yeah, well, I mean, because it wasn't really a movie. I didn't like it the way you liked it. To me, it was kind of like a Tyler Perry production.
That's
don't
what
do
he
that.
gave me.
No,
No,
he gave me cheesy.
no.
And you know, I'm a movie buff. And these type of movies I don't watch. I didn't get no.
That's
what I got.
No,
I said that's what I got.
It's definitely not the classic that Coming to America
right.
is. But if you are a fan, I still say watch it. But don't go into it thinking that it's going to be that classic.
And I wish that they would have spent more time in America, like somebody had posted.
Yeah, because I was talking about that too.
They should have spent more time. And I wish they got the original director to direct it. Mm-hmm. I wish it was like, I wish it didn't look so made for DVD-ish. Because that's what it gave me. It gave me made for DVD-ish. But I mean, it wasn't something that I would turn back. It's not something I would turn back on again.
And then you had, first of all, you got Lunel in it. Then you had Tracy Moore. And Lunel didn't have a bigger part. She should have had a bigger part. Lunel.
Well, that's the part Leslie, of they should have stayed more in America.
Tracy, yeah, of course.
Yeah, they should have had Tracy more time in America because I felt like they went to America, got the son, and then came back to Africa.
Yeah, and the son don't look nothing like Eddie Murphy.
Nothing like
they could have all these people. They could have cast it.
He don't look nothing like Leslie Jones.
No, but I'm glad Leslie Jones is in it. Okay,
yeah.
Period. That's my girl. Like, she better get that fucking.
And she must have worked. Her character must have worked at a nursing home because she on them scrubs or daycare.
She was like, "Fuck all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can have it." I said yes, and then I felt my favorite part when she's like, "Uppity bitch say what?" Like I love that, and then Shari Headley, who was the original.
Lisa.
Lisa. Like she looks good. Everybody looks good. Mm-hmm. And I did not know that Arsenio Hall was 65. I did not know that.
He looks good too.
Yeah.
Also, now that I'm thinking about it, like when I think about the original and I think about this one, I loved John Amos's character in the original, her father, and I loved how and then once he found out Akeem was a prince, I loved all of that. Like they didn't even give him that much time, and I'm just like, I wish they would have gave him some more time too. Like it was cute to see all of the originals, but I just wish the film was done a little bit different.
Why did it take 30 years to get a McDonald's in Zamunda? I don't. Oh, you gotta watch the movie, Mikhail. You gotta watch it all the way. You got to. Just one time.
I am gonna watch it. I'm not like running to go watch it. But I'll watch it. I'll finish.
I really enjoyed that movie. Like when Tiana Taylor came on that screen, I had a big ass smile on my face.
She looks good.
Like whoever did the choreography and all of that.
Probably her. Amazing. She's a choreographer.
Yes. It was just amazing. It was like she is still underrated, and that should not be the case. Mm-hmm. After all of these years and so many albums, like 2 or 3 albums that some people may have slept on. Mm-hmm. Tiana, you doing a damn thing. Now, I didn't like your character in the second part of the film, but in the intro,
and she's proven herself
and her body,
to be good at what she does.
At the 2 babies, yes.
Mm-hmm. And that man all up in her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. So,
you said what?
Nothing. I would even say what? One thing that Meghan said, oh my God. Meghan Markle. She said something in that interview talking about that's a hell of a lot of toast.
Oh, that's a loaded toast something.
Yes. I don't know, man, but listen. So people, do me a favor. Go on the internet and go look at them videos of Piers Morgan getting got together this morning. They lit his ass up. Cause he out there on TV over in England defending the royal family. How can you tell somebody that they're lying? How can someone talk about their mental health issues and struggles and you're saying that they're lying? if you don't like that they came for the royal family, that's your opinion. But don't be out here calling people liars. Just, oh, she shouldn't have went out there and did that. Why can't they tell their truth? So they supposed to be silent and live in silence forever? Fuck out of here. Ain't nobody doing that in 2021. Yeah, I'm surprised that they let somebody do that to them in 2018. Mm-hmm. You know, we all thinking everything is good, blah, 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 blah. They shut it all down.
But I will say they got out of there fast.
Yes, they did. And I would have been going too.
Because it took them about 2-3 years to get the fuck up on
and
not even 2, no, not 3 years, too, because they left in 2020.
And they said it wasn't no blind side.
Yeah.
They knew that we wanted to leave. If you're not going to protect us, this is what we want to do. Because we can go out and see sick children without being a Sussex. We could do that without being a part of the royal family.
Look at Diana. She did it.
She sure did.
After she divorced, she did it. She kept doing it to the day she died. And I feel like events that she attended after she divorced, she looked so much happy. She looked so happy.
That's a shame. Her they got Dodi Al-Fayed. Yeah, they died in that car. Did you see the car? Have you ever seen the aftermath of the car?
Kevin, yes. Hello, I meant it just like you did.
Yes.
Yes, that car was. First of all, I'm surprised, and then I don't even think somebody didn't die right away in that car accident. I don't know if it was the driver. Yeah, somebody didn't die right away. Like somebody didn't die instantly. But yeah, that car was mangled. First of all, the way the car looked, you would think to yourself, when you get to the car, how do you even pull somebody out of this? And how do they look when you pull them out?
Yeah. But I'm glad that they talked about Diana and stuff.
Then the paparazzi that chased them didn't stop chasing them when they got in the accident. It didn't start, instead of helping, they started taking pictures. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't have them type of stories about paparazzi like that anymore. Because now everybody got a camera, could just take pictures. Right. But before then, people was.
I'm surprised paparazzi are still in business.
Right.
I'm serious.
Because everybody take their own pictures.
Everybody take their own picture. And all you just take pictures with this. And then you. And then you get paid for it.
Yeah. But it's kind of like, you know, back in the day, the celebrities and the paparazzi, they had their own business. You get me out there and I'll help you eat, you know. But now, you don't need them no more.
No.
And you know what else they do? They pay these celebrities to post pictures in their clothes. And they get like $300,000 off one post. You know? So fuck about paparazzi. Anyway, y'all. That's all from Kevin and Mikkel today. Depending on what your family is doing this week, hopefully we can get a podcast in.
Yeah, because I don't think anything's going to take place during the week. I don't think so. But I'll let you know, but I don't think so.
Okay. So we're going to go, but I hope y'all enjoy March. And understand, please remember too, Friday night, if it matters, we're going to lose, Saturday night we're going to lose an hour of sleep. So don't be late for work on Sunday, or don't be too early, don't be too late for church, or too early for church.
Or too anything.
Yeah.
Just go.
Just don't.
Just go. I watched the mall the other day and it was packed. I couldn't believe it.
King of Pressure.
It was packed. Everybody